Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to everyone. Before I begin, I'd like to ask all of you to think for a moment. How many of you have ever seen tasks being divided between male and female students during a campus event? Raise your hand if you've noticed that. Maybe the boys handle the microphones or carry chairs, while the girls decorate the stage or prepare gifts.
Yes, that always happen in my cohort. Most of the time, the girls do decoration.
The guys usually handle technical work.
Yes, almost everyone. That simple observation already shows that gender's roles are deeply embedded into our learning culture. Today, I am here not to argue, but to inform, to share insight and raise awareness about something that will shape our experiences as trainee teachers. Gender discrimination among students in Malaysian teacher training institutes. Throughout this session, we'll explore what gender discrimination really means, how it appears around us, why it matters to our growth as educators, and how institutions and individuals are addressing it. Gender discrimination refers to unequal treatment or assumption based on gender. It may be intentional or unintentional, but its impact is always real. In teachers' training setting, it can appear as simple as this. Women being assigned secretarial or decorative roles, and men being automatically chosen to lead or handle discipline. At first glance, this might seem harmless, but when they happen repeatedly, they reinforce stereotypes, suggesting that men are leaders and women are supportive. According to Rahman and Aftar 2023, gender bias still influence how tasks and opportunities are distributed in school. Even when institutions preach equality, invisible expectations remain. Let me ask you something. If teaching is supposed to be a profession that shapes values, what happens when the teachers themselves are shaped by inequality?
I think it would become normalized.
They might carry those biases in the classroom. This is why this topic matters to all of us. Bias and IPGs can take many forms. Let's take a look at a few examples together. First, task allocation. During events of group projects, female trainees often manage aesthetic, hospitality, or record keeping. Male trainees handle technical or outdoor duties. Now, quick question to everyone. Have you ever been assigned a task that you didn't choose just because of your gender?
Yes, I was told to write reports because I am a girl.
Yes, it happens every time during campus event.
That's bias in practice, even when it's done politely. Second, leadership bias. Sometimes group leaders are chosen based on gender expectation, not competence. Phrases like, boys are more decisive, or girls are too emotional appear in daily conversation. These ideas might seem small, but they reduce confidence and shape how we see ourselves. Third, subject stereotyping. Some subjects are seen as male or female dominant. For instance, physical education or science often attract more male trainees, while English and moral education are associated with female. As Aftar 2012 highlighted, when teaching becomes labeled as feminine work, men are discouraged from entering the field, limiting diversity and balance. And finally, social expectations. When a male trainee shows gentleness or care, he is sometimes called soft. When a female trainee takes charge firmly, she is labeled bossy. This reaction teaches us to hide our authentic self, when in fact, empathy and leadership belongs to everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, Some people might ask, why should we worry? Everyone's still doing their part, right? Here's discrimination doesn't just divide tasks. It divides confidence, opportunity, and identity. When women are told they are too emotional for leadership, they begin to doubt their ability to lead. When men are mocked for being caring, they learn to hide their compassion. Over time, these biases create teachers who lead with fear or pride instead of balance and empathy. Alright, let's make this more personal. Imagine a future classroom. If a teacher believes boys are better at math, who will they call on more often? If a teacher thinks girls are naturally polite, who will they expect to tidy up? Studies by Cooper-Genther, Becker and Simpian, 2023, shows that teachers' hidden gender biases influence how students participate, especially in STEM subjects. Girls in particular tend to withdraw when they set lower expectations. So the way we think today, as trainees, will shape how our students feel tomorrow. Now, let me ask you, what kind of teachers do we want to become? Ones who continue the cycle or ones who break it? Alright, let's take a look at the bigger picture. Malaysia has made significant progress in gender equality. In fact, female enrollment in universities now surpass males. Many schools are led by competent women principals and senior assistants. However, equality in numbers does not always mean equality in experience. According to Ministry of Education 2024, the Falsafah Pendidikan Kebangsaan aims to produce balanced individuals intellectually, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. Yet, the persistence of gender stereotypes contradict this goal. For example, female teachers are often expected to handle classroom decoration or emotional support, while male teachers are called to control disciplines or sport. These assumptions are rarely challenged, but they limit creativity and opportunity for both sides. So, even in a progressive system, tradition can quietly preserve inequality. Honorable audience, thankfully, progress is happening. The GEM report 2019 highlighted that Malaysia has begun reviewing textbooks to remove gender stereotypes, replacing old image of fatherhoods, motherhoods with more balanced one. In addition, Education International 2014 emphasized that gender equality is crucial to educational quality. They encourage teacher training programs to include gender awareness modules and reflection session. At IPG level, awareness campaigns, seminars, and panel discussion are increasingly focusing on inclusive teaching practice. Now, let's have a bit of interaction again. If you could add one new topic to the IPG training syllabus related to gender equality, what would it be?
Workshops about bias awareness.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is how awareness grows through chat boys. Now, let me tell you a short story. A friend of mine volunteered to join the technical team during a campus event. It's a role that usually filled by male students. When she joined, a few people teased her. Why would you want to do complicated work? Let the guys handle it. Instead of quitting, she stayed. She learned how to manage the sound system, help coordinate the lighting, and handle the event successfully. The next semester, more female students joined her. What started as one person's courage became a small cultural shift. Now, let's reflect for 10 seconds. If you were in her position, would you have stayed?
For me, I would probably prove myself that I can do it.
small moment of courage is how equality begins. It's not with speeches or policies, but with action and mindset. So, as a future educators, we carry the responsibility of shaping the next generation's beliefs. If we, as training teachers, keep repeating gendered practices, our students will absorb them unconsciously. But if we practice fairness, allowing everyone to lead, express, and grow, our students will learn that equality is natural. Ask yourself, how will my classroom reflect equality? Will I assign classroom monitors by skill or by gender? Will I praise students equally for leadership and kindness? These questions help us align with the falsafah pendidikan kebangsaan, which call for balanced, moral, and fair independence. When bias disappears from training, it disappears from classroom. So, moving forward, how can we as training teachers move forward to a more inclusive culture? Let us use this simple ABC framework. A, that stand for awareness, reflect on our own behavior. Are we judging based on gender or ability? For B, stand for balance, ensure equal participation. Rotate leadership roles between male and female training. And C, collaborating, work together across gender lines. A classroom strength lies in diversity. Now, let's try something small. A 1-minute activity. Then to the person next to you and share one gender stereotype you've noticed during your time in IPG. You have 30 seconds to share and 30 seconds to listen.
What do you think one of the common stereotype?
I think that men are expected to lead somehow.
How about you, Fine?
I think women must be applied to decorating classroom.
And men also cannot be so spoken, they must be tough.
That's the very common stereotype.
Yeah.
Thank you. See how many examples we already found within our own community. Recognition is the first step to change. Gender discrimination is not only about women or men. It's about human fairness. When one gender is limited, the whole community loses talent and potential. Education must be the most equal space in society because it shapes every other space. So, as trainee teachers, our goal is not just to teach English, mathematics, or science, but to teach respect, understanding, and equality through our actions. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the end of this talk, I'd like to revisit what we've learned. Gender discrimination still exists, even though not in loud, obvious way, but in quiet daily routines, such as who leads, who carries, who decorates. It influences our confidence, our learning experience, and the kind of teachers we become. Yet, there is hope, because awareness is growing, policies are changing, and young educators like us are beginning to question old norms. So, before I leave you, I'd like to ask one final question. When you graduate and step into your classroom, what kind of teacher will you be? Will you continue the cycle of bias, or will you model fairness for every child who look up to you?
I think I want to be the one who breaks the cycle.
For me, I would like to be a fair and balanced teacher in terms of giving them lesson.
And for me, I will promote equality in my classroom.
Let us remember that true education is not just about lesson in textbook. It is about lesson in humanity. Respect knows no gender, leadership knows no gender, and compassion knows no gender. Together, we can build an education system that reflects the equality we all deserve. That is all from me. Thank you.